Welcome to SOC Mantra and welcome to another video of our Cisco Networking CCNA lab series. In this video, we will do a default routing lab using Cisco routers. And as we have seen in our previous video, we have configured static routing and enabled communication. Let me just show you the lab that we have configured static routing. This is the lab that we have configured static routing and we have enabled communication between the three locations, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Mumbai. We have enabled static routing and configured static routing on all the routers so that they can communicate with each other. You can go through, if you have not seen the video of the static routing lab, you can see the static routing lab video and you can get knowledge on how to configure static routing lab, static routing on routers to communicate between different locations. In this video, we will perform a default routing lab, and before configuring the default routing lab, let's go ahead and see what exactly is default routing. So default routing is a technique used in IP networks to direct packets destined for unknown or unspecified networks to a specific next hop router. This is used when a router doesn't know the exact path to a destination network. So what exactly does that mean? Here you can see on the Mumbai router, let me open the lab. Here you can see on the Mumbai router, the PC2 wants to communicate to the yahoo.com server, and on the Mumbai router, the ISP is connected or Mumbai network is having connection to the internet. So we have not configured any route to the yahoo.com server or the microsoft.com server or the google.com server. So as you know, if you want to configure lot of IP addresses or lot of web servers network, then the routing table on the Mumbai network or the Mumbai router will be too much, and that is not feasible for a network administrator. So what IP default routing does is it will just forward the packet because it doesn't know the yahoo.com server. The router will forward the packet to the ISP router where the ISP has hosted all the servers, or it will just forward to the specified server. So for this lab, I have created a internet, virtual internet, where I have created yahoo.com server, Microsoft server, Google server, and a DNS server. And I have taken a switch where I have configured VLANs for all these networks. And for enabling routing between these servers, yahoo.com DNS and Google server, I have created sub interfaces and routing has been enabled. So let's see how to configure this. So let's first start with configuring the servers on the internet, virtual internet. So let me see, let's go to yahoo.com. So I have taken a server and I have enabled the HTTP service on the server, and here you can see I have mentioned welcome to Yahoo server and save. Okay, and similarly I have done the same thing for Microsoft as well, and I have done the same thing for Google as well. You can see here welcome to Google, and you can let me show you. I have configured the VLANs, show running configuration of the switch, and you can see here I have configured three VLANs. Let me show you, show VLAN brief. You can see here VLAN 10 is Yahoo, VLAN 20 is Microsoft, VLAN 30 is Google, and VLAN 40 is the DNS server. So now what I have done is I have enabled the DNS on the server, and I have added google.com, yahoo.com, and microsoft.com A records and the IP addresses. I have enabled all these services on the DNS server. so that the web page can be resolved when the PC is trying to access. Okay, now let's see what all routing has been configured on the Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Mumbai network. Show IP route. And you can see here we have configured static route for 192.168.20.0 network via 10.02, 192.168.30.0 network via 10.02. Similarly, let's see for Hyderabad router what all show IP route. And here you can see we have configured static route 192.168.10.0 via 10.01, 192.168.30.0 via 11.0.0.2. Similarly for Mumbai, let's see, so IP route, and you can see here on Mumbai also we have configured the static route for 10.0, 192.168.10.0 network via 11.0 IP and 192.168.20.0 via 11.0.0.0.1 IP. Okay, so let's see if we are able to communicate between the VLANs. Yahoo.com. Let's go to command prompt. Let me ping Microsoft.com 20.76.201.171. You can see we are not able to communicate between the VLANs because I have not configured the ISP router for routing between the VLANs. Let me just go ahead and configure it. Let me go to the ISP router, enable show IP route. You can see there is no routing configured between the VLANs. So I will be using sub interfaces on the ISP router to route between the VLANs. So it will be an inter VLAN routing. Configure terminal interface. Let's see what interface is this. Gigabit Ethernet 0/1. Configure terminal interface Gigabit Ethernet 0/1 dot 10. So the VLAN 10 is yahoo.com. Okay. Encapsulation dot 1Q VLAN 10. Now we have put the IP address 74.6.231.20.19 255.255.255.248. Enter, exit, interface, Gigabit Ethernet 0/1 dot 20, IP address 20.76.201.170 255.255.255.248 the slash 29. Okay, so we have to enable encapsulation dot 1Q20. Now IP address, exit, interface, Gigabit Ethernet 0/1 dot 30, encapsulation dot 1Q30, IP address 74.125.200.99 255.255.255.248. Exit. Okay. Exit. Show IP interface brief Now you can see we have configured three sub interfaces. Let me configure one more interface gigabit 0/1.40 encapsulation dot 1q 40 IP address 30.30.30.2.1 255.255.255.0. I'm sorry, it's 248. Exit, exit, show IP interface brief. And you can see we have configured four sub interfaces with IP address. So this will be used as the default gateway for the VLANs. So for yahoo.com, if you go to IP configuration, so default gateway is this one, and we will be using DNS server. So we have configured DNS server, and the IP address is 30.30.2. So similar for Microsoft.com, you can see we have to configure the DNS server 30.30.30.2. Similarly for Google.com, we have already configured. Okay, so now let's try to ping within the VLANs. Let's try. Let's wait for the reply. Hopefully this should ping. Yes. So we are able to communicate within the VLAN. So we are able to communicate within the internet servers. So now let's see if we have communication between the Mumbai router and the ISP router. So let me check. Show interface brief. Show IP interface brief, and I have already configured the serial 0/1/0 12.0.0.1. So this is the interface. Let me check if the ISP interface is configured. Show IP interface brief, and serial 0/1/0 on the ISP router is also configured with 12.0.0.2. Okay, so let me check and try to ping if I am able to reach 12.0.0.2. And you can see we are able to ping the ISP router from the Mumbai router. So let me check if we are able to ping yahoo.com, ping the Yahoo IP address -t 74.6.231.20, and you can see the destination host as unreachable. So why the destination host is unreachable? Because we do not have any route configured for the on the Mumbai router to reach the yahoo.com server. So as we have lot of servers on the internet, so the best way to configure routing is configure a default route on the Mumbai router so that the ISP can do the other part of the work. So let me go and try to configure the Mumbai router conf t, and the syntax for the default route is IP route 0.0.0.0 subnet mask 0.0.0.0 and the next hop IP address. So IP route 0.0.0.0 IP address subnet mask 0.0.0, and the next hop IP address is the IP address on the ISP interface, that is 12.0.0.2. Now let's see if we are able to ping. So you can see here it is still we are still not able to reach the yahoo.com server. See, previously you were getting a message destination host unreachable. because there was no route configured on the Mumbai router for the yahoo.com servers. So though we have configured the default route, we are still not able to communicate with the yahoo.com server. The reason is the PC3, PC2 is sending the packet to the Mumbai router and the Mumbai router is sending the packet to the ISP. But the ISP doesn't know where to reply back. The once you get the response from the Yahoo server, the ISP doesn't know where to send the packet back. So we have to configure a default route on the ISP as well. Let's try to do that. IP route 0.0.0.0, 0.0.0.0, and the next hop is the serial 0/1/0 interface of the Mumbai router, that is 12.0.0.1. Now let's see if we are able to ping. Now you can see we are getting the response back from the yahoo.com server. So we can see now we are able to reach the yahoo.com server, and we have configured the default route on the Mumbai router and the ISP router. Let's try let's try to ping from the Bangalore PC to the yahoo.com server. Let's try to ping -t. Let's do a continuous ping 74.6.231.20. You can see destination host unreachable. When do you get this message? Because the router doesn't have any route in the routing table to send the packet. So let's try to configure a default route on the Bangalore router. IP route 0.0.0.0, 0.0.0.0. The next hop IP address is serial 0/1/0, serial 0/1 10.0.2, 10.0.0.2. Now let's see, it is still destination host unreachable. And now you are getting the destination host unreachable from the router 10.0.0.2. Why? Because the 10.0.0.2, this router doesn't know where to forward the packets once it receives the packet. Okay, so now let's try to configure this router as well. IP route 0.0.0.0, 0.0.0.0, and the next hop is 11.0.0.2, 11.0.0.2. Now you can see we are able to reach the Yahoo server. Okay, now let's try to ping the web page www.ping www.yahoo.com. Ping request could not find host. Why? Let's check it. You can see here we have not mentioned the DNS server address. Let's try to mention 30.30.2 and let's try to ping again. Hopefully this should work. Yes, now you can see we are able to ping the yahoo.com web page. So let's try to load the web page of yahoo.com and confirm whether the DNS server is also working and we are able to reach the internet. www.yahoo.com, press enter, and you can see Welcome to Yahoo server. Let's try to reach let's try to reach the Yahoo server from the Hyderabad PC as well. www.yahoo.com, and you can see we are able to reach. Let's try to open www.microsoft.com, and you can see we are able to open Microsoft as well. Let's try to open www.google.com. Okay, we are able to reach all the servers that are hosted on the internet. Now let's do a trace route and check how exactly does the IP packet is going to the Yahoo server. So let's do trace route www.yahoo.com, and you can see first it is going to the 192.168.10.0 IP address, that is the Ethernet interface of the Bangalore router, and then it is going to the 10.0.0.2 IP address, that is the Hyderabad serial 0/1/0 interface, and then it goes to the 11.0.0.2. 11.0.0.2 is the serial interface of the Mumbai router, and then it goes to the 12.0.0.2, which is the serial interface of the ISP router, and from there it is directly going to the Yahoo page or Yahoo server. So with this, by this way, we are able to configure default routing, and we have configured the default routing. So in this lab, we have seen how this DNS works and how this yahoo.com server and microsoft.com server and google.com server is configured in the Cisco packet tracer as web servers. And we have also seen by configuring default route on all these three routers so that all the three can reach the internet and access the web pages hosted on the internet. So with this, we conclude the default routing lab. If you like this video, just hit the like button and the subscribe button. And if you have any queries, just ask it in the comment section and I will be happy to answer your queries. And if you want this packet tracer lab, just comment in the comment section and I will just upload the lab in the video or in the comment section. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you. You all have a good day and see you in our next lab. Thank you.